the 2017 recommended budget message from the county administrator. Good to see you guys this morning. Take it away.
Good morning, Commissioners, President O'Grady, Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner Brown. I'm delighted to be here this morning with my colleagues Eric Janis and Chris Long to present to you the 2017 recommended budget. I'm pleased to present the recommended budget for Franklin County. Under the Commissioner's direction, we present a budget that is fiscally responsible while addressing the needs of our most vulnerable and empowering the community. As you will see throughout today's presentation, we are focused on the future of the county and laying the foundation for the provision of effective and efficient government services to meet the anticipated demands for services. Part of the efficient response involves the collaboration amongst the county's courts, agencies, and boards in order to maintain fiscally sustainable government operations. In addition, the county's partners with other local governments, nonprofit agencies, and private businesses to support the strong regional economy and remain a top community for good jobs and affordable housing. The Commissioners govern in an environment of continual growth and must be mindful of the impact this will have when developing the annual budget. Over the past 10 years, Franklin County's population has grown 14.2%. In 2015, the county added over 20,000 residents. This is the largest annual population increase since 2009. Based on current trends, Franklin County is expected to be the largest county in Ohio when the Census Bureau releases its estimate next year. The Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission projects in the Insight 2050 report that the population in Central Ohio will grow 25% between 2010 and 2040. In contrast, the rest of Ohio will see a 3% decrease during the same time period. In order to remain competitive and attracting new individuals to Franklin County, we must focus on addressing job creation in multiple sectors and at all wage levels through economic development efforts, ensuring the physical safety of the county residents, and planning for future infrastructure needs. Franklin County, like other similarly situated counties nationally, continues to see a large number of individuals and families living in poverty. The poverty rate for all people is 17.1%, which is 1.2 percentage points higher than 2006. While certain segments of the community have seen improvements in their personal finances, almost 1 in 4 children in the county continues to live in poverty. The 2015 rate for those under the age of 18 is almost 5 percentage points higher than the pre-recession rates. As you will see in the 2017 recommended budget, the Commissioners remain a commitment to addressing the poverty rate that has remained above our expectations. The general fund revenue in the 2017 recommended budget is expected to be $444.9 million, which is $3.6 million less than the 2016 projected actuals. The decrease is mostly related to revenue collected by the Board of Elections in 2016. In even-numbered years, the Board of Elections receives fees charged to local governments to reimburse the agency for expenses related to the prior year's elections. During 2006, the Board of Elections also received reimbursement from the state for the purchase of electronic poll books, as well as reimbursement for special elections held in the City of Columbus, the City of Upper Arlington, and the Village of Manera Park. This decrease was offset by the growth in the county sales tax collections. In 2017, sales tax revenue is estimated to increase by $4.1 million or 1.3% more than 2016 projections. While the estimates for 2017 reflect robust sales tax collections, the anticipated loss of revenue from the change in the sales tax on managed care organizations that are Medicaid is reflected in the 2017 recommended budget. In July 2014, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services advised state Medicaid directors that taxing a subset of health care providers at the same time as the statewide sales tax is not permissible. Ohio has until June 30th, 2017 to comply. Franklin County has received almost $19 million in sales tax revenue from Medicaid managed care organizations in 2015, or 6.6% of total sales tax collected. The amount of the projection to increase $20 million in 2016. Since the county received sales tax funding 3 months in arrears, the impact to the general fund will begin in the fourth quarter of 2017. Investment earnings are expected to are estimated at $12.1 million or $1.2 million or 10.9% more than the projected actuals for 2016. However, this amount is 72.2% or $31.4 million less than the actual pre-recession earnings received in 2007. Although Franklin County will see year-over-year revenue growth from several sources, the potential loss of Medicaid managed care sales tax revenue requires us to remain fiscally prudent as we move forward.
As a result of increased sales tax collections beginning in 2014, the county continues to maintain the balance between operating revenues and expenses without reliance on general fund cash reserves. A permanent increase in the county's sales tax rate by 1/4% was approved in September of 2013, along with a 1/4% temporary increase, which will expire on December 31st, 2018. In 2015, the county added $20 million to its general fund cash reserves. The 2016 projection indicates that the county will add another $10.8 million to its reserves, while the budget before you shows an additional $3.7 million contribution. This aligns with the county's long-term financial forecast, which will allow the county to continue to make contributions to its Economic Stabilization Reserve Fund, or Rainy Day Fund, and allocate funds for the county's next 27th pay, which will occur in the year 2020. In addition to the contribution to reserves in 2016, stronger than anticipated sales tax growth has supported almost $11 million in capital investments in the county's facilities. The 2017 recommended budget contains $439.7 million in general fund appropriations. When the investments made possible by the temporary sales tax are excluded, that amount decreases to $381 million, including $6 million in contingency to cover unexpected expenditures. During the 2017 budget process, the Franklin County Office of Management and Budget, or OMB, fully assessed the budget requirement of every agency, office, and court within the context of the county's mandatory requirements, statutory duties, and the demand for services. OMB's revenues and suggestions were then used to develop the recommended budget before you today. As a result of this analysis, the 2017 recommended general fund budget is $17.3 million, or 3.8% less than the total amount requested. Understanding the county's commitment to balance the cost of mandated services, the needs of county residents, and other spending priorities with the directive to utilize public dollars in the most efficient and effective manner, the 2017 recommended general fund budget increases only 0.7% when compared to 2016 projected actual expenditures.
When reviewing the general fund expenditures by function, excluding the temporary sales tax investments, the percent of 2017 expenditures related to the Commissioner's core principle of public safety, justice, and security is 4.7% higher than 2013. This core principle comprises 62.5% of the recommended general fund budget in 2017. Within this core principle, the 2017 recommended budget includes $73.7 million in the general fund to support the operations of the courts and $31.3 million for criminal and civil prosecution and legal defense services. The 2017 recommended budget includes a case manager position for the Court of Common Pleas Domestic Relations and Juvenile Division to provide case management services to participants in the COMPASS program. In partnership with the Child Support Enforcement Agency, the COMPASS program is designed to provide job training and educational services to people who are at risk of being sent to jail for not paying child support. This new position will conduct assessments, coordinate services with providers, monitor compliance with court orders and provider rules, track and monitor the progress of the participants, and develop new contacts within the community for employment opportunities for the participants. The COMPASS program has served 270 participants to date, with 10 to 15 new cases added each month. The success rate has been at 65%, with less than 10% reoffending. The 2017 recommended budget also includes a language access coordinator position for the Court of Common Pleas General Division. This position was requested to address the continued increased need for assistance with limited English proficient individuals engaged with the court, either as a party to a case, probationer, or the public. Supreme Court rules of Superintendents 80 through 89 have placed an increased responsibility on courts to manage this access to justice issue proactively. The position will require that the applicant be bilingual in English and Spanish. As part of the 2017 recommended budget, the temporary sales tax is expected to yield $61.3 million to support various investments in the Commissioner's core principles. Under Community Safety, a transfer of $46 million will be made to the Public Safety Center Fund to support construction of the new jail and Forensic Science Center. Under Strategic Economic Development, $4.8 million in economic development and planning to support grants for the Smartworks suite of programs. Under Supportive Health and Human Services, $5.4 million in community partnerships. Under Good Stewardship, $2.5 million to support sanitary engineering projects to provide clean water and sanitary sewer projects. And under Fiscal Responsibility and Sustainability, the balance of annual revenue received from the temporary sales tax will be added to cash reserves to meet any unanticipated needs. As previously mentioned, the temporary sales tax will expire on December 31st, 2018. Since the county receives the revenue from the sales tax 3 months after the sale, the final collections from the temporary sales tax will be received during the first quarter of 2019. While a majority of the general fund addresses the core principles of public safety, justice, and security, the primary driver of the all funds budget are social and human services. The total amount of budget appropriations recommended for all county funds in 2017 is $1.5 billion, which represents a $40.2 million or 2.7% increase from 2016 projected actuals. However, the 2017 recommended all funds budget is $29.9 million or 2.7% less than requested by county agencies.
The social and human services category is the largest in the all funds budget, comprising of 47% of the total 2017 recommended budget. Franklin County delivers a variety of health and human services, which are mostly supported by property tax levies, as well as state and federal funds. As is seen in the chart, almost 1/3 of those expenditures are for Franklin County's Board of Developmental Disabilities. The board serves over 20,000 individuals with developmental disabilities so they can live, work, learn, and participate in the community. In 2016, the board received the highest possible rating from the Commission on Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities and the Step Up to Quality from the Ohio Department of Education. Within the 2017 recommended social and human services budget, our general fund dollars for a mandated share of $4.6 million for programs administered by the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services, and almost $2.2 million subsidy for the Franklin County Child Support Enforcement Agency, and funding for various community partnerships.
In order to review the 2017 recommended budget in more detail, we will now highlight major initiatives and achievements associated with assisting our most vulnerable and empowering the community. The services provided through Franklin County agencies are often targeted for the most vulnerable individuals among us. The social safety net, such as senior services, access to nutritious food, and addiction treatment programs, prevent individuals from falling further into poverty. The Franklin County Office on Aging continues to provide centralized access to diverse programs and individualized services for older adults and their families so that they can preserve the independence and quality of life of our seniors. The agency is projecting the number of seniors enrolled in the Senior Options Program through the end of 2016 to be 9,750, a 4.3% increase from the previous year and a 31.8% increase from 2011. The 2017 recommended budget of almost $41.3 million is a 5.9% increase from the 2016 projected actuals. The current senior options property tax levy, as you know, Commissioners, expires at the end of next year. The number of seniors requesting services from the Office on Aging is expected to continue to grow as the number of Franklin County residents age 60 and older continues to increase. In 2010, the number of individuals aged 60 and over represented 14.7% of the population here in Franklin County. The Scripps Gerontology Center at Miami University projects that that number will increase to 18.1% in 2020. As you are aware, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, Columbus City Council, Columbus Public Health, Franklin County Economic Development and Planning, Local Matters, and more than 1,000 residents have worked for the last 2 years to develop a local food action plan designed to improve residents' access to quality, nutritious, and affordable food. The effort addresses the underlying social issues of poverty, underemployment, and unemployment that contribute to food inequality. Highlights of the local food action plan that was approved just last week include strategies to improve how people access food, grow food, and prevent food waste, increase the availability and affordability of healthy and local food while teaching people convenient and healthy ways to feed themselves and their families, support a stronger market for local food businesses, creating jobs and fostering community revitalization, and bolster food waste prevention efforts and supporting strategies that decrease the amount of food-related waste to local landfills. A joint county city council local food team, along with an advisory board, will be formed early next year to guide the plan's implementation. In addition to overseeing its implementation, it will issue annual progress reports and updates to you and to the community as a whole.
The county continues to face an unprecedented opiate epidemic. According to the Franklin County Coroner's Office, 339 people died of an opiate overdose in Franklin County in 2015, more than double the rate from 2012. In the same year, the Columbus Fire Division delivered 2,250 naloxone doses, or more than 6 doses per day. In the first half of 2016 alone, that number is almost 1,400. Naloxone is a medication that reverses the effects of opioids on the brain and respiratory system to prevent death. Columbus Public Health reports that through the first 6 months of 2016, 6% of the 1,740 people who presented at local emergency rooms with complaints of drug overdose and/or withdrawal were heroin-related. The Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County, ADMH, indicated that, quote, the rising toll of death and damages attributable to addictions, most notably from the opiate epidemic, demands attention and the overall need to increase prevention, awareness, and treatment options for individuals and families struggling with all addictions, end quote. The 2017 recommended budget includes $58.4 million in support of ADMH provider contract services for the provision of mental health treatment, substance abuse treatment, and prevention services. According to the Public Children's Services Association of Ohio, half of children taken into custody last year had parental drug use identified at the time of removal. Among infants in care, 70% are there due to a parent's addiction. Parents who cannot recover from their addiction within 12 of 22 consecutive months may permanently lose custody of their child. The 2017 recommended budget includes $200.3 million for Franklin County Children's Services, which is a 4.2% increase from the 2016 projected actuals. Moving to the Stepping Up initiative, while addressing the needs of our most vulnerable in the community, the Commissioners have made it a priority to identify those individuals in need of assistance while in the custody of the Franklin County Jail. In May 2015, the Commissioners adopted a resolution supporting the Stepping Up initiative, a national initiative to help advance the county's efforts to reduce the number of adults with mental illness and co-occurring substance abuse disorders in the jail. In 2016, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office began implementing an objective classification system that allows the correction staff to effectively classify inmates housed at Franklin County correctional facilities to ensure they are placed and housed in a safe manner. Also, the Sheriff's Office now conducts the brief mental health screen at booking to better identify those with mental illnesses and in need of follow-up assessment and treatment services. The Adam H. Board embedded a 3-person jail liaison team from Southeast Incorporated within the Franklin County Correctional Center to provide in-reach services and connect people to community-based services upon release from jail. As originally constructed, it was anticipated the program would annually serve approximately 600 individuals screening as medium or high risk on the brief mental health screen. However, an average of 250 per month are being referred for assessment and in-reach services. Despite this volume, Southeast Incorporated has completed 220 level of care assessments as of October 31st of this year, and efforts to scale the program to size through leveraging of additional funding is underway for 2017. In partnership with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, Columbus Division of Police and Fire, Adam H., Southeast Incorporated, Franklin University, and Mighty Crow Media, the Pathways to Women's Healthy Living program was launched in the Franklin County Correctional Center on March 1st, 2016. Pathways targets female offenders with a confirmed mental health and/or co-occurring diagnosis and a significant history of criminal justice involvement. The goal of the program is to reduce the number of individuals with a mental health diagnosis in the jail by increasing their access to quality pre- and post-release services, thereby reducing their likelihood of return to incarceration. Since launching the program in March 2016, 18 females successfully completed the program, meeting all strict program requirements, and 9 received achievement certificates for completing a significant portion of the program offering. 31 transition reentry plans were created prior to a participant's release. 17 females received a full risk assessment utilizing the Ohio Risk Assessment System instrument, and as of November 1st of this year, only 2 of the 43 female participants have recidivated based on preliminary evaluation. A detailed analysis of 2016 activities will be released in early 2017. The Franklin County Municipal Court, with support from the State of Ohio's Probation Improvement and Incentive Grant, established a pretrial services program which includes both pretrial assessment and supervision. The goals of the program include reducing the number of individuals who spend more than 3 days in jail by 20%, reducing the average length of stay for the severely mentally ill population from 32 to 26 days, and reducing the bail failure rate by 15%. Since launching the program on January 11, 2016, 1,012 pretrial interviews have been conducted through September 30th of 2016. 63% of individuals arraigned through municipal court were released within 3 days, and the average length of stay for defendants self-reporting as severely mentally ill and receiving pretrial services was 2 days as compared to 11 days for those individuals not receiving pretrial services. Work associated with the planning, design, and construction for Phase 1 of the new Franklin County Correctional Facility to be located at 2551 Fisher Road in Columbus is underway. The new 345,000 square foot jail, projected to open in 2019, will provide approximately 850 beds. The facility will be designed to be expandable to 2,800 beds if needed, and a total of 897,500 square feet. The new facility will replace the aging downtown jail at 370 South Front Street and eventually the county's Jackson Pike facility. The new facility will be designed as a national model for a direct supervision county jail and will include specialty housing for inmates with behavioral and mental health issues, a medical clinic, and a 300-person orientation or intake center, in addition to maximum security housing. In preparation for moving into a new jail, the Commissioners approved in 2016 a $1.8 million contract for the provision of a new jail management system. By August of 2017, the Franklin County Sheriff's deputies will be able to track booking and release, prisoner housing, visitation, and inmate movement throughout the jail, and inmate mental health history within one system.
Commissioners, we will now highlight major initiatives and achievements associated with empowering the community. Many services provided by Franklin County agencies enable individuals to increase control over their lives by addressing the socioeconomic determinants related to their success and well-being. Related to the Stepping Up initiative is the county's targeted effort to assist those individuals who are reentering the community following incarceration. Franklin County has the 3rd highest population of ex-offenders being released from incarceration in the state. The Franklin County Reentry Coalition is charged with creating safer neighborhoods and more productive residents by increasing the success rates of ex-offenders transitioning from correctional and rehabilitation institutions back into the community. The Office of Homeland Security and Justice Programs hired 2 reentry staff in 2016. A reentry social services specialist provides assessment and direct services to individuals with a mental health diagnosis incarcerated in the Franklin County Correction Center. The reentry support specialist is charged with community outreach and linkage, capacity building, and aftercare services. The Franklin County Veteran Services Commission provides assistance to the men and women who reside in Franklin County and have served in the armed forces. The 2017 recommended budget of $6.2 million in general fund appropriations for the Veteran Service Commission reflects the county's commitment to veterans. This amount is a 9.3% increase over the 2016 projected actuals. Between 2012 and 2017 recommended budget, expenditures for contracts and grants have increased 46.1%. Services provided include immediate financial assistance for food and rent, transportation, home repairs, and burial assistance. Veterans benefit specialists provide consultations for benefit claim submissions for active duty personnel, veterans, and their dependents, so they can obtain eligible entitlements and benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs.
In 2017, $9.2 million in economic development grants will be supported by the general fund. These investments will be made throughout the county. This includes approximately $2 million for Experience Columbus to support their efforts to attract tourism to our community. Visitors to Franklin County are estimated to generate more than $1 billion in tax revenue in economic activity, which saves the average Franklin County household $2,271 annually in taxes. The recommended budget also includes $1 million for Columbus 2020 for the purposes of business attraction and retention, developing entrepreneurship, and regional economic development collaboration efforts, among others. The largest investment of the general fund dollars in 2017 is Smartworks, the suite of programs which includes Infrastructure Works, People Works, and Energy Works. Infrastructure Works invests in infrastructure projects that support economic growth and is a revolving loan program, so the same dollars can be used for additional projects as the loans are paid back. Approved Infrastructure Works projects to date include road improvements for the city of Whitehall, construction of a fiber optic network in the city of Upper Arlington, expansion of water services in the village of Marble Cliff, and the Goodale Boulevard improvements project in the city of Grandview Heights. PeopleWorks is focused on helping solve the persistent employment challenges facing both area employers and the unemployed or underemployed clients of Franklin County social service agencies by facilitating private sector employment and training of low-income county residents. Finally, the commissioners have approved $1.5 million each year for the Energy Works program for at least 5 years in order to offer a low-interest revolving loan fund to businesses, local governments, schools, and nonprofits within Franklin County for energy-efficient upgrades. These upgrades could include renewable power generation, fuel cells, waste energy recovery, high-efficiency HVAC, smart lighting, I beg your pardon, or anything else that benefits the environment and community and is feasible. The program is administered by the Columbus-Franklin County Finance Authority, as you know, and as a revolving loan fund, the dollars available will continue to recycle. In 2016, the City of Columbus was awarded a Smart Cities grant of up to $40 million in federal funds from the U.S. Department of Transportation, along with up to $10 million in matching funds from Vulcan Incorporated to assist in implementation of the city's proposal to create advanced data and intelligent transportation systems, technologies, and applications. This grant will leverage an additional $90 million from public and private sector partners to improve access to jobs through expanded mobility options in major job centers, better connect our visitors to transportation options, compete globally through smart logistics, connect Columbus residents to safe, reliable transportation that can be accessed by all, and become more environmentally sustainable. Franklin County is an important partner in achieving the strategies of Smart Columbus and is committed providing assistance up to a total of $4 million over 4 years with a combination of in-kind resources, cash, partnerships, and policies by supporting county projects and initiatives such as the Geographic Information System automated mapping upgrades, smart traffic control devices, electric fleet vehicles and charging facilities, targeted transportation strategies aimed at reducing poverty and increasing employment opportunities, complementing infrastructure technologies, and social service smart card transportation payment access.
As good stewards of public dollars, Franklin County strives to keep staff and expenditures in control. Despite increases in demand for services driven by population growth, the 2017 recommended budget includes almost 284 fewer full-time equivalent positions than the 2009 approved budget. This decline is the result of strategic decisions throughout the county to eliminate positions through retirement and attrition. The commissioners have long been committed to seeing that all residents of Franklin County are paid a living wage for the work that they do. In 2017, this board adopted a living wage for non-bargaining commissioner agency employees by increasing the amount of the lowest paid employee to $13.69 per hour and allowing for the renegotiation of union contracts so that the changes could apply to bargaining unit employees as well. According to resources developed by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the living wage in Franklin County is $13.69 per hour. The living wage is defined as a wage that allows a family of 4, including 2 working adults, to maintain a normal standard of living within the community in which they work. As identified throughout the presentation, the 2017 recommended budget of $1.5 billion aligns with the Board of Commissioners' 5 core principles. While not all were addressed in detail today, the following remain at the forefront of our annual budget process, and they are: provide community safety, security, and effective justice, promote job creation, strategic economic development, and fiscal security, provide supportive health and human services, promote good stewardship of natural resources, environmental sustainability, and civic engagement, provide efficient, responsive, and fiscally sustainable government operations. Due to the Commissioner's proactive assessment of the county's finances, the county has maintained the balance between operating revenues and expenditures since 2014 while adding to general fund cash reserves. The 2017 recommended budget will allow the county to sustain our economic development efforts and invest in other programs that assist our most vulnerable and empower the community. While acknowledging our accomplishments, we must remain cognizant of the forecasted $20 million reduction in annual general fund revenue related to the loss of sales tax collected on services purchased by managed care organizations that will begin to impact the county's budget in the fourth quarter of 2017. Even with impeding loss of revenue, we must remain committed to reducing the number of mentally ill in the county jail, increasing individuals' access to nutritious food, and decreasing the number of families facing poverty. Under the Commissioner's leadership, county agencies and community partners will be collaboratively addressing these needs over the next year. Budget hearings have been scheduled so that an open public discussion may take place concerning these 2017 budget recommendations. County administration looks forward to working with the Board of Commissioners as it deliberates and take action to finalize the 2017 budget. I would like to thank all of the county elected officials and agency directors for their continued cooperation and service to Franklin County. Special acknowledgement goes to Zach Telerik and his hard-working team of professionals in the Office of Management and Budget for their assistance in developing these recommendations. That group is behind me as I speak today. That hard-working group of well-dressed today, I might point out, and dedicated group of individuals. It goes without saying that we wouldn't have been able to come to this point without their hard work and dedication as we developed the recommended budget. I also, last but not least, must acknowledge the support of Deputy County Administrators Eric Janis and Chris Long for being my left and right hand along the way in developing the recommended budget that is being presented here today. I'm truly blessed to work with such a group of professionals throughout county government. And as you will hear from other Board of Commissioner agencies, we're all blessed. We have many talented directors that support all of our efforts to serve the residents of Franklin County. If that concludes our presentation of the recommended budget, we will now open for questions from the board.
You are so right about your team and all of you. And, you know, I was talking with somebody yesterday who was working with one of your budget staff, and I want to thank this person, and it's Garrett, who was working with one of his agency directors who was dealing with that agency, and to her it was far more than the numbers. And that's what, for all of us in our roles in county government, the numbers are important. And Zach, I know I've talked with you in the past, the numbers are critically important, but behind every number that we get on the budget is somebody. It's something, it's somebody, and what we're trying to do with that money to help somebody in the community. And Garrett, this person I was talking to about her budget, was talking about how you took the time to get such great understanding about the agency, was so far different than what she was used to in any job she's ever had in government in the past, and with her finance team that she's ever worked with. And she said to me, I love this because it brings everything together, the numbers, the people behind the numbers, what those numbers mean. When we use those numbers that we all get in our budget, it makes us know that those numbers are what we use to serve our people in our community, and that's what it's all about. And so all of you in budget and management use those numbers, but you have that great understanding of what those numbers mean in the community, and I thank you for that. It's critically important to have that great understanding and that depth of knowledge, so thank you.
Yeah, President O'Grady, Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner Brown, I would like to thank you all for fostering a culture that enables us to think beyond the numbers. The numbers are extremely important, but we talk about budgeting for policy, results and outcomes. BPRO is more than just a saying when you talk about budgeting for policy, results and outcomes. It's about the people behind the numbers that we serve. Having good numbers, counters, accountants are extremely important to what we do. But it's keenly important to realize the policy that accompanies the numbers, and having that accountability and transparency around those numbers to be able to demonstrate to the residents of Franklin County the true value that they serve. So I would like to commend this board for your leadership in creating a culture that allows for that and encouraging administration and OMB to be innovative and come up with new ideas along the way. So I specifically am very appreciative of that support from this board. Coming to the county in 2006 being my very first budget, I bring that perspective of appreciation for the leadership of this board, and I'm blessed to have worked with you all during this time period.
Thank you.
Well, again, to the team, thank you. We at county government, and Tyler probably would be the most upset about this. We don't oftentimes pat ourselves on the back and say and tell everybody out in the community what a great job we're doing. We just come in here every day and roll up our sleeves and get the work done. And you guys are the ones who allow for us to be able to do that as county commissioners. You guys are the ones who allow for our agency directors and our staff in those agencies to be able to come and do as much as this community or this county government does for the citizens of Franklin County. This being an election year, I was obviously continually made aware of all that we are doing, because when you have to run for re-election, you spend some time looking at the numbers. You spend some time going beyond the numbers and seeing what we're actually doing in a more comprehensive way. Spend more time analyzing, just simply because you have to answer more questions and you have to make more presentations. You have to do a lot of that, and so when you just come in every day and roll up your sleeves and do the work, sometimes it gets lost. And then when you have to sit back and say, no, this is what we did, and these are how many people we served, and this is the impact we made on people's lives. And you guys sitting out there in the budget staff are the ones that allow for our people to be able to do that every day. You're the ones that allow for them to be able to reach out and serve those that are the least amongst us. You allow us to be able to go out and do the great things that we do in economic development, in planning, and the different projects that we get involved in, and the things that we get to help push and move to help make this a stronger community. The impact that Franklin County government has on Central Ohio is immense. And what we do here every day helps to drive where this community is going. When we sit back and talk about the fact that we're the fastest growing county in Ohio, and we're going to be the largest county in the state, we probably currently are, but we're going to be named that probably in the next several months, and that the economy of Central Ohio continues to move and grow. It's because of the work we do here. A lot of it is because of the work we do here. The partnerships that we have with our friends at the City of Columbus in our suburban communities, but also the partnerships that we have with the surrounding counties, and the work that we do with Columbus 2020, the work that we do with the business community, all the work that we do in our social service areas and with our partners in those areas. We have a major impact on shaping this community. And so it is, I'm especially proud of all the work that all of you guys do every day that helps allow for all of that to happen. It's crucial, and it's important, and it's fantastic. So once again, thank you. I always say at these budget hearings, thanks for making us look good, which is exactly what the budget staff does and what our agency directors and all of our staff do on a regular basis. We create policy, and as you say, we help to create a culture, but you guys are the ones that roll up your sleeves every day and do the work. So thanks for all you do.
Well, this will be my last budget. Thanks for a great 12 years. When I came in here in 2006, we knew that we were creating a lot of widgets, and we knew the cost of each widget, but we didn't know whether or not we needed those widgets and what those widgets altogether actually produced. We now know not only the cost of the widgets, which is managing for results, but we also know the outcomes that we need. Reduction of poverty, no small task. Better quality food supply, no small task. Environmental improvement as we continue to see a massive increase in population here. It's going to, at 25% increase in population over a couple of decades is massive. And you all are really meeting this challenge head on, and I congratulate you for that. And I think your stamina will be needed as the coming years progress and we see more people coming here, because we do have such a high quality of life. I think our challenge is to maintain that high quality of life, if not improve it. And our children need you to get behind those numbers, as Commissioner Brown and I think Commissioner O'Grady have inferred, so that we know that these dollars are really, truly being used cost effectively for everyone, no matter what your income level, no matter what your age, no matter where you've come from. So I know that this is a great team. It has been a great team through the years. I particularly today want to thank the people who have been here for a long time, Ken, Zach, and Mary Jane, people who I've known throughout my 12 years. But I also want to thank all of you who have come along and added more vim and vigor to the team. And I appreciate your honesty, your frugality, and I hope that you will continue those efforts in the coming decades. We are blessed here. We saw what happened yesterday in our community. We're living in a very challenging world, but we are blessed and we can never forget that. And we just have to move forward as we are today. So thank you very much for all of your efforts, and really appreciate your help through the years.
Thanks for everything you guys do. Budget hearings start this afternoon, and we'll get all this wrapped up here in the next week or so, and then the vote on the budget is December 20th.
December 20th is the vote on the budget. Budget hearings kick off 1 o'clock today.
1 o'clock.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.